Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I just want to say I appreciate you guys. Please like this video, subscribe, and share it if it add any value to you. Basically, I just want to give you guys an update where I'm at so far and finding and purchasing my first rental property. Just 5 things that frustrate me about this whole process, but we all know that it's a process. You just have to be patient, enjoy the process. The first thing that really frustrates me about this whole ordeal, basically getting into the real estate market, as you guys know, I'm in Florida. The Florida market is the price is kind of expensive than it's really not. At first I was looking at to purchase a duplex, but as far as the income and the cash flow of the duplex, it don't really make any sense to me. So right now I'm just looking at purchasing like a triplex and up. As you all know that I'm doing the FHA. So yeah, the first thing that frustrates me is I just feel like I'm not seeing enough properties. So far I've seen 5 properties. Those properties, it didn't really make sense as far as like location or the price of it. And some of them are far because I work kind of far from where I'm at right now, and the properties I've seen is on the opposite, so it'll be hard to commute, because you know with the FHA you have to live there for at least I believe a year or 2. So that's my plan and my goal. So far I feel like I haven't seen any properties because I work from like 8:30 to 5:30 and sometimes I work till 8. So it's really kind of hard to see properties during the week if I don't have anything lined up. It's mostly for the weekend. So far I've like this week I went to go see a property right after work, and by the time I got there it was like 6:30, and with this time the time right now is, by the time it hits 6:30 it gets dark. So I just seen the inside of it and I didn't really get to see the outside of it. But with that property anyways, it fell through. It was a nice property, but it fell through. They had violations, stuff they had to get through before we can offer. You know, getting an FHA loan, they don't play. There has to be no violation, which they're looking out for us as the buyer. So I really appreciate that. And the second thing that frustrates me is, like I said before, I was looking into purchasing a duplex, and with the FHA, the rents have to make sense, and the rents wasn't really making sense with purchasing a duplex, because some properties we were looking at, the people been there so long and the rent's so low that I wouldn't get approved for those properties. You know, like the FHA give you, I believe 70 to 80% of those rent they add to the income of it, to your income. So if it don't make sense, then I can't purchase it really. So yeah, a couple of properties I was looking at, they was nice, but just because it was a duplex, like I said, it was a duplex, the rent didn't make sense because I would have to live in one and rent out the other one. The other one's already rented. Some of the rents that I was going for is like $1,100, $1,300. Like I said, I'm in South Florida and Fort Lauderdale area, and it still didn't make sense for those type of rents. So that's why right now I'm looking into like triplexes or above, because that would really make sense as far as the rent, as far as purchasing my first rental property. I did look at a couple of nice places, mostly in the Fort Lauderdale area. The rents are, in compared to like a duplex, the rents are really low. I don't know why, but the rents are really low. Like I said, the main reason, though, I do know why, but the main reason is just that because people have been living there for 5 years, 6 years, and the landlord, is more of the longevity of the tenants that stay in there. The longer you can get them to stay there, the better. So I do understand they can do is try to increase the rent, but it'll make it harder. We don't know if these tenants will stay if they increase the rent, just to make the price range make sense for me. So that's why I'm really looking into like a triplexes. I did look at a couple of places in Miami. The rents are much higher. So that's a good thing, but the thing is Miami is too far. It's too far from where I work. I think it'll be like a 2-hour drive. Like I said, I work at 5:30 in the morning, so it really doesn't make any sense. If I was just purchasing it and not have to live there, it would have made sense. But since I have to live there with the FHA, it's harder. And the other place I'm looking at also is Hollywood. Hollywood make better sense because it's between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So the rents there kind of make sense. The rents there are better, and they have a couple of nice triplexes. Like I said, I looked at one during the weekend. That one was good. I love the area and the neighborhood, but it didn't make sense because they had violation. They had to get through with their violation, so that's why it didn't make sense to we had to pull out. The third thing that frustrates me about purchasing my first rental property is the fact that most of these places, like a triplex or a duplex, whenever I see them and talk to my agent contact the seller agent, most of the time is you have to put in an offer before seeing the property. And for me, that's kind of hard because it's my first time. Like, I don't have like a lot of experience, or I don't have all these experience that I can know by looking at pictures or by looking at the numbers that it makes sense. And I want to see the property first because I'm doing it with the FHA, so I don't want to go in there with having to fix a lot of stuff or having a lot of headache and stuff like that. Maybe in the future, in the long term, when I start getting more experience and more exposure of what like good deals is. I do look at Zillow and Realtor.com. I have the app. I do analyze some of the deals, but I'm not a pro yet, so it's really hard for me. I'm finding it kind of hard for me just to put in an offer first to see the property. So that's something I gotta work on. If you have any suggestion about that, you can put it down below in the comment section so we can discuss. But yeah, I'm finding that kind of hard for me, just put in an offer first, just to see the property. Even though my realtor tell me that it's not a hard process, you can always back out. But I'm just finding like kind of annoying that I have to put in an offer first, just to see the property. The seller, they do that also just this. I kind of see where the seller is coming from, because they do that because they want to see that you're serious about purchasing their property. They don't want you to just come and waste their time. Basically, nobody want to waste their time. I feel like they're wasting my time by putting an offer, but it does make sense to me. So I do get it, and there's some realtors that do let you get by with that. If you have, if your realtor or whoever representing you have a relationship with that realtor. So I do understand it, but that's kind of frustrating to me. I've been looking since, I would say December. Yeah, December, probably like the end of December. So it's been it's been almost 3 months. So like I said, it is a process. It takes a lot of patience. Even though I want the deals to be done right now, just to get my first one under my belt. But I have to be patient. One thing that really kind of frustrates me is the location. This guys know location do matter. I do want to get a place where the location is nice. It don't have to be super nice, but the location has to make sense. I don't want to live in the hood or something like that, even though the hood is not bad. I came from living in the hood, but I want to make sense, because I have to, for the tenants. Is better. It'll be better to rent. We're gonna get higher quality tenants, and also I have to live there. So it has to make sense for me. And some of the location that I've been looking at is really like I don't see myself living there, so there's no point of purchasing if I don't see myself living there. And the location also has to make sense where the neighborhoods around it is rising, so it can really increase the equity of the property, and also it can really bring cash flow, because the main thing I'm trying to do is basically house hack. As you guys know, house hacking is when you're living in one part and you have your tenants paying your mortgage for you, and you get some cash flow back. It don't have to be, you can start with 100, but at least you get something in return after all the expenses is paid, the mortgage and everything else. So that really makes sense to me. That's why again I'm looking more into a triplex before duplex made more sense to me. But seeing how the rents and how the market is for me, it looks like it's better to purchase a triplex. So yeah, the location do matter, because I have to live there, and I don't want to purchase somewhere where I can't live there. So it wouldn't make sense to rent it to somebody else if I can't live there myself. So yeah, location do matter. And here down in Fort Lauderdale, most of these duplexes and triplexes, they mostly like in those the hood, basically, like those type of neighborhoods. But it does have some promising places. Certain locations are changing a lot, so it does make sense to live in an upcoming neighborhood where the price is like, just to make it make sense. Like in Miami, Wynwood area, it used to be like the hood. Basically, it used to be like a bad neighborhood, and they transferred. If you guys don't know what Wynwood is, basically it's a art district. They transferred it into art district where people go just to see the scenery and how they transfer. They have restaurants, they have nightlife, they have everything now, and it really increased the property value of everyone that's living around there. So that turned into like a gold mine in real estate. So, and I see that they're doing that here down in Fort Lauderdale. So it makes sense for certain neighborhoods to move into certain neighborhoods if you know that they're going to come up. But yeah, this process, even though it's taking like a long time, it has taught me a lot of things as far as getting into the real estate market. So I'm happy with the experience. So whoever out there that's looking to get into the real estate, I encourage you just to get in there. Just talk to a realtor, talk to a broker, and just to get your feet in there. You just the experience alone, you get to learn a lot. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm learning a lot. So that's why I enjoyed the process. Fifth thing that really get me frustrated about purchasing my first rental property is just the seller's agent. Sometimes the seller's agent, they not upfront with you. I feel like they kind of snaky-ish. Like they don't give you all the information up front, and I kind of get it, but it's just like, for me, just purchasing my first, trying to get into my first rental property, God willing, is I look for like transparency between the agents. Just tell me everything that I know I'm getting into. Some of them will tell you like there's no offer. Then when you put an offer, then they say somebody else had an offer. Like it's really kind of snaky-ish to me. And just looking at different properties, some of them feel like they'll rush. They rush you. They don't really tell you everything, and you will go and look at the property, and you see like certain things wrong with the property. Like they don't tell you if there's violation on the property, which that should be listed. If the violation can get called, they'll list like there's violation, but they're not telling you what the process, like how's the process going. And some of them, they don't respond back in time. Like a couple of properties that I like to see, and I don't get a response back in time. And sometimes when they do respond, they said that the tenant is not willing to show the property, which I get it. It's no biggie, But some of the stuff is frustrated, but just patient. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update of where I'm at right now in purchasing my first rental property. And I appreciate you guys for coming along in this journey. This is going to be a fun journey. I hope that you guys learn a lot also, and I hope that you guys discuss certain things. If you have more information, because I'm not the smartest person in the world, if you have information or any suggestion, you can always put it in the comments below. And I'm welcome to it. I appreciate it. Like I said, I don't know everything. I'm just getting started into this, and it's a journey. So please like this video, comment, and share it. I really appreciate it. Until next time, God bless you.